Hey, good evening. Welcome to the Coaches Show. Can everybody hear okay? All right, good. I heard one yeah, so the rest of y'all just join in whenever you can hear. Hey, we're glad you're here. I'm Billy Collier. We're here at Luigi's at 117 Northwest 32nd Street, having a great time. Got friends out here, got coaches out here, students. The community is out here. So if you're not here yet, go out, get in your car, come down here. They've got great food. They've got happy hour till close tonight. You'd have a great time here. So come on out, enjoy this. We want to thank everybody here. They're wonderful, wonderful to us, and take care of us, take care of y'all, be sure, and take care of them. If you're eating here, take care of your waiters. That would be the best thing to do. Hey, we got a great show tonight, but before we get to that, the man sitting here to my left, the man, not a myth, the legend, Gene Reed. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Billy. I say it every week. We love talking racer football, racer athletics, and we love talking about Luigi's and all the great food and service they have here at Luigi's. It's a fun night. We do have a great. Hey, we're in week number what?
12.
We're in overtime.
That's right.
You might say, and this is the you couldn't ask for a better time to be practicing for the guys in November and us preparing for the coaches show and for another upcoming game.
Oh yeah, and it's exciting. We just played Elk City last week. Exciting game. We're going to get into that here in just a second. But it's exciting to watch people around town. Everybody's talking football right now. Everybody's talking about how everybody's looking. We had a lot of people show up in Elk City.
Yeah, we did. We had a good crowd, and they made some noise.
And they stayed longer than the Elk City fans.
They did.
No disrespect if you're an Elk City fan. But they did. They hung around and had a good time. It looked like confetti was popping out on the field.
That's right.
Just a good win. Gene, go ahead and take us back. You are the man that can just bring everything together. Go ahead and do that for us.
Well, we really enjoyed the game in Elk City, and I think the fans were just practicing up for another good drive to the next game. I mean, they're thinking if we can go to Elk City, we can go anywhere, and sure enough, we're heading to Poto for an upcoming game.
That's right.
If you don't mind, let me just share some about the game, Billy. Some of the stats, but really want to just go through some of the scoring drive. We scored 7 times. Newcastle won 46-21 was the final score. The Racers had 460 total yards, 116 passing, and 344 on the ground. And Elk City had 273 yards on the ground and 0 yards passing. They were held to an abrupt stop, and they had a total of, therefore, 273 yards. On the scoring drive, Billy, we scored 7 times. The first scoring drive was a 6-yard pass from Jackson Burt to T.J. Bradford for a touchdown pass, and Batchelder kicked. And we didn't score the first quarter, so our scores occurred during the second, third, and fourth quarter. We scored 3 times in that second quarter. In the second quarter, the second drive, a 17-yard pass from Jackson Burt to Jordan Lane, and Batchelder kicked. And then Toby Batchelder kicked a 37-yard field goal.
Wow.
We were up 17-7, and things were looking pretty good. They did score one other time, brought the score to 17-14, but then we resumed scoring in the third and fourth period. We had a 30-yard run by T.J. Bradford, 30-yard touchdown run. Toby kicked the extra point. We had a 51-yard touchdown run by T.J. Then, and Batchelder kicked. We had a 5-yard run by Trey Burchett and a 10-yard run, both for touchdowns, and that wrapped up the score. One of the extra point tries, there was a penalty, moved up pretty close to the goal line, so we put it in for 2. Jackson Shanuel put the 2-point conversion in, and the score is 46-21. So some of the takeaways that I caught for the Elk City game, the Racers, and I'm using your words here, but I observed the same thing. The Racers beat Elk City at their own game.
Right.
They did it on the ground, and you know me, there's a player of the game, but man, almost everyone out there I was calling player of the game. I saw so many people making great contributions, Billy. The one interception by Elk City, it was a pass that was well thrown. The defensive back just made a perfect jump on it. In fact, there should have been a penalty for him taking away from our receiver the way he did.
I would have.
That should have been a penalty. But, no, not really. He just made a good play on it. But our team maintained composure. And we've talked about that in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We always have that as one of our keys. We did have some penalties. But, Billy, none of them felt like backbreakers to me. And none of them really felt like it just was going to be a game changer. We did have the penalties. I guess because we recovered from them so quickly, it just didn't seem like such an issue. And unlike Bethany, where our opponent also scored first, I never really felt like the Racers were not in control of this game.
No.
They seemed like they were in control. I got a bit antsy when the score was 17-14, but the Racers responded. And what a perfect night weather-wise. A perfect night. Up in Elk City where we've been, freezing cold, sometimes sleet, always north wind. Wasn't there. It was just great. In fact, I had to turn my heated vest down to medium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I didn't want to get too hot. Billy, you had the play. You had as one of your keys to the game the play by Elcision and Barry as one of your keys. How do you feel they did, and what are other observations from Elk City game?
Well, I'll tell you right now, 2 people that don't get mentioned hardly enough. I call them the Steven Adams of the team. That would be Elcision and Barry, because they're playing the defensive ends right there on defense and keeping it all contained in the middle. And they did a great job of going after the quarterback. They did a great job of keeping it all in the middle there. Only a few times where they moved out and opened it up. They played a great game, blocking on offense and opening up holes for Bradford, for Burchett, for Burton Shanuel. I would say, and I mentioned this to Josh that night, I mean, you talk about 2 guys who do a lot for the team and don't want all the recognition for it. That's why I call him the Steven Adams. Steven Adams, when he played for the Thunder, did tons of things that did not make it onto any kind of box score.
And if I could just hitchhike on that, if they kept everything in the middle on defense, that means Taj Smith and Jaron Webb, Heavy J. That meant they had to carry a lot of that load as well, and the 4 of them together did a remarkable job on defense.
Well, and I'll say this, the way that Elk City played is they wanted to run, they wanted to pound you, ground and pound, but if you have all the bodies laying between the 2 defensive ends, there's no place to put your cleat and to get place
Traction.
To move.
That's right.
So they did a great job of keeping things contained. I know Elk City would have loved to get around them and just were not able to. Another thing, like you said, beat them at their own game. I've wondered in the past if some teams have said, well, if that's Elk City, we're going to run something different. And what I felt Newcastle did is they came in, they saw who the players were for Elk City, saw that they played both sides of the ball, and said, let's run at them and run them and run them and run them and pound them. And I think that's why the only time you saw Elk City get into the end zone was the first series of each half.
That's right.
Because then after that, they were just out of gas.
Right. That's right.
I think the team just kind of wore them down.
Yeah, and that held them to under 300 yards, and we had 344 rushing and several passing. So it was domination of a very good team.
Right. Yeah, Elk City is not a bad team. They're not a team that's just a blow-off. They're a really good team, and I felt that in all phases of the game, Newcastle beat them and beat them in offense, more yards, defense, holding them, containing them, even special teams. They got a kickoff that wasn't covered by Elk City, and you saw them get down there. In fact, I haven't seen Jalen Lane. I've never seen a player slide on top of his helmet like Jalen Lane did.
He did.
Slapping that ball away.
And who was there to land on it?
I didn't see.
Number 7, Grady Downing.
Grady Downing. Man.
Hustle by both of those young men.
Yes, I've been real impressed with the special teams, how they've stayed in their lane and not over-pursued one side or the other. I thought that's been real good all season.
Caden had a great game.
Very good.
He broke loose for a couple of great runs. We had other players that did everything to keep getting the ball down to the 8, 10, 15-yard line for others to then sometimes others took it in, but it was a team effort, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that the Elk City game was where I saw the most out of the most people. They played some great games. They've had great players come to the surface. We're going to talk to one of them tonight. But I felt the game against Elk City, you saw many of the players do many great things to bring about that victory.
And the player of the game is an excellent choice that the coaches made. The Alcisian player of the game, announced by OSN, very deserving. But again, I could have handed it out to probably 11 people or 10 or 15. Who knows?
That's right.
They all played well.
And I'm going to ask TJ, he doesn't have all those yards if he's not running behind 5 big eaters.
That's right.
And so so I'm going to ask him what that's like and what he's doing for them for Christmas.
Right. Good deal.
So, hey, we're going to have the Coach Brickman right after this. We're going to take a short break here and have Coach Brickman. He'll come up, talk to us about his thoughts of the game last week, thoughts for the game this week against the number 1 team in 4A, Podo, at Podo. So stick around with us. We'll be right back after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Hey, welcome back here to the Coach's Show here at Luigi's, 117 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle. Great time had here, lots of laughter, lots of enjoyment, lots of food. And so get out here. It's not too late. Get out, come say hi, come get some good food.
We got a crowd here.
We do.
Got a lot of our players, a lot of our fans, several of our coaches are here tonight.
Yes, and just a great time. I don't see anybody really frowning. I see a lot of chewing, but not a lot of frowning. Right. So, hey, you'll notice over here with somebody, you recognize him by now. We got Coach Brickman here with us. And I just want to say something. Great game plan this last week. Very impressive. Did it go pretty much as you expected in practice the week before?
Yeah, the assistant coaches did an outstanding job coming up with the game plan, and then obviously the players executing it. We've just the last few weeks you kind of hit. You go through different parts of a season, but we're playing our best football right now, and that's exactly how you'd want it. So
exactly.
Just like I said, I give all the credit to the assistant coaches and the players. They just did a great job.
They did a real good job. Now, Elk City's first series of each half, that was their only scoring drives. What were some of the changes and adjustments that y'all made?
Well, they run kind of an old offense. They run it kind of strange. They're in the wishbone, but they don't run the wishbone.
Right.
I mean, the wishbone, you run triple option, like the Sooners did back with Jamel Holloway and all those guys. And they get in the wishbone, they run like the power I out of it, which is kind of weird. So we try not to change our base defense. Most people in the modern era are more spread-oriented. That's what we see most of the time, and our defense is kind of designed against that. But, if someone goes back to, 1950 and runs, something kind of older, our defensive coaches, Coach Bradshaw, the defensive coordinator, wanted to run a different defense. And then there's that tension of, the players are used to doing what we do, and what if we go there and we run this different defense and it doesn't work, then we're going to second guess ourselves. So we really had two plans, and we said let's start off in our base defense and see what happens, and they went right down the field. And then the very next series, we went to the defense that Coach Bradshaw wanted to put in and shut them down. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, it's a big credit to him, and it was his idea and put in the game plan there. And then the second half would be something where you're up 17-7. They get in there, they give a rah-rah speech. The kids come out, play a little bit harder than they did, and then you got to go respond, and we did. And once we responded, their kids kind of threw some tantrums, and at one point I saw one of their players kick the yard marker on the sideline up in the stands.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they were punching some of our kids in the piles and things like that. So at
bad.
some point I had to pull all the players together and tell them, hey, don't react to what they're doing. And, I had a little bit of a heads up from Weatherford's head coach, who's a really, really good friend of mine. He had texted me earlier in the week and told me to watch out for that. So he was right on the money. And unfortunately, sometimes you play teams that, do stuff like that. And that was the part that I didn't enjoy about the game for sure.
But Coach, that's one of the dimensions of composure. The fact that your players could respond to that positively, not overreact to it, that's a big part of the composure that we've been hoping always to see, and I'm proud of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and I did notice that when they got tackled, they'd hop up real fast and get back on their side of the line.
Yeah.
And it's smart thinking. Yeah, we saw a little bit of that. Very physical game.
Yep.
Very physical and tackling till the whistle and plus some maybe. And so we noticed that too, but we also noticed the guys, for the most part, kept their composure, Newcastle guys, and were able to kind of go. And when somebody was getting a little frustrated, you usually saw at least two players going, hey, come on, let's come back over here, put your mouthpiece in, let's go, So that was good to see as well.
Yep.
And, Coach, Billy observed early on, and I agree, it looked like we beat them at their game. I mean, we pounded it on the ground and run over them, which is kind of their game plan for their offense.
I agree, but I'd probably disagree too.
All right.
We're fast. I mean, we get up and we go as fast as we can, and we spread people out. And it's hard to defend. The more you can do, the harder it is to defend.
Right.
And you've seen in some games where, like one game I would bring to mind is like the Tecumseh game. They try to stop the run, and we threw for 300 yards.
Right.
And then when teams try to stop the pass, then we can run the ball.
Right.
And so we literally go into a game plan being able to do a bunch of different things. We have screens, we have perimeter passes, we have down the field passes. We can run inside, outside. Our quarterbacks can run. We have multiple receivers that we spread the ball around. So I would disagree just from the standpoint of their identity was slow, try to run clock, try to run the ball. Ours is to go fast, and the reason why we ran so well is because they couldn't stop it.
See, I told you, Billy, it wasn't their game.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They couldn't stop the run, so we just kept running the football.
Maybe that's what we were thinking about.
Yeah.
They run the football, we ran the football, we just did it much better.
Yeah, just in a different way.
Now, Coach, after the game, I cheated up close to hear your after-game speech.
Yeah.
There on the field.
Yeah.
And I heard you say, guys, this will be the shortest speech you've ever heard me make. And then I think do you mind telling us what you told them?
Well, yeah, I just held up the 2.
Which means?
Second round.
Oh, okay.
Second round.
Yeah. The next game is number 2.
Yep.
We were wondering. We thought it was hippies, peace.
It's either peace or victory.
Victory.
But and there's more than 2 games left. But I said, I bet we're going to game 2.
Yeah, second round. Yeah.
Great. Great, Coach. That was fun.
Now, hey, let's look to Poto. They're the number 1 4A team in the state, according to some, Wagner in the other. What are some things that you're looking for? What are some things that you're kind of expecting to see out of Poto?
Well, it's interesting. I've never played against Poto. I'm not sure. To have to talk to some of the guys at the coffee shop. I don't know if Newcastle's ever played Poto. In recent memory, I can't recall. The first time I'd ever heard of Poto, I had a player that had moved into a different school I was at, and I said, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Poto," so that was his nickname. We called him Poto for the rest of the year. And in the back of my mind, I always thought, I'd like to go there sometime, and I get my wish this week. I know that they have the largest hill in the world. If you Google what's the largest hill in the world, it'll say, I think it's Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, yeah.
So then I was sitting there and I thought, well, what's the difference between a mountain and a hill? And at first I thought it was elevation level, but that's not the case. If you look it up, the difference between a mountain and a hill is a mountain has a peak and a hill does not.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
So I learned that, and being a history guy, that I like that. They're a really good football team. One thing you can tell for sure when you watch film is that it looks like a wonderful environment. I mean, it looks like it's packed. You got people sitting in lawn chairs on the track. And it looks like they have a great home field environment, so we need as many people as we can to go support us, and it should be a really good contest.
I hope fans just heard what Coach said.
Yes.
We need a big crowd, and I believe the run to Elk City is an indication that our guys are going to make the trip. It's further than Elk City, but it's a nice drive right along I-40 most of the way, and then down south on 59. Just about probably 3 hours, but a great day for it. It's going to be great weather and a great place. And I've been to Poto a few times, but I hadn't been to their field, and it is a great-looking field, great-looking venue.
Yeah.
And it's right next door to a Brahms, and I always get a chocolate malt after we win. It's right next door.
Okay.
So I can't wait.
Now, let me ask you a question. I know it doesn't fall into your job description. Are they taking like a spirit bus like they did from Elk City? Are they doing that to Poto, or do you even know at this point?
They'll probably offer one, but most kids want to drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't want to ride on a bus. We'll be riding on 2 yellow buses for sure. But we're going to treat it like a college away game, which I think will be a really neat experience for our players to kind of see what that's all about. We're going to leave Thursday, and we're going to stay in a nearby city, not in Poto, but a city close to there.
Okay.
Our resources, our quarterback club, the administration, and then some private donors have chipped in to provide a hotel stay and all that. And so we'll wake up Friday morning and go through a college game day type thing where we'll have meetings, then we'll go through a walkthrough in the ballroom and stuff like that.
Plan.
So it's going to be really neat.
Well, a great plan. And Coach and Billy, this is another reflection upon our community responding to Newcastle athletics. And,
Absolutely.
And Coach and I have talked about it over the past. We really we wanted to see continued excitement and buy-in to all of our programs, and you got a great program, and it's really great to see the fan base and the contributors doing
Absolutely.
that. And we have not played. I looked at the history. Poto has done pretty strong against Western teams. We can be one of those teams. I think we'll be one of those teams who have prevailed over them, but all of our teams over here, obviously, if they play Poto, it's going to be in November or December. And the record is real heavy on Poto's side of it. They sneak out there in the woods and practice their way, and they don't tell anyone else what they're doing.
That's true.
And then we go out and play them. And I think it'll take a lot of preparation on our part to be ready, but I'm trusting you're going to have them ready.
Yeah, and they do run a unique offense. They huddle, and then they'll break out just the center and maybe one receiver. And it's called a sugar huddle, and then they'll all just sprint to the line, so you have to be ready. And so it'll present a challenge. Our scout team so far, like today, they did a really good job with that. But it'll be something that the fans haven't seen before for sure.
And that quarterback seems like a sleight of hand artist.
Yeah.
I watched him on one of the videos, and I watched him as he turned to hand the ball off to the tailback or the running back, and he didn't have the ball in his hands because he had already handed it off to this wing back. And I thought, man, he's pretty slick.
Yeah.
So I would think preparing our guys for that, it wouldn't be real easy, but I'm glad you're preparing them. It'd be almost like teaching someone how to beat the shell game, because that pea under those shells moves around. He looks like he's pretty salty at that.
Well, and I want to ask about the sugar huddle. Are there times where you'll be able, because, you got to be set for a second.
Yeah.
And it seemed to me when I watched the little bit of video I could find that there were times that they got there and almost immediately took off. Do you think that's something that recognition of that?
He wants you to plant it in the seat of the officials.
Yeah.
Well, you never know what you're going to get. So.
Yeah, I know. but that's something I noticed is sometimes they don't get set.
That's right.
Most of them, 8 of them, 9 of them will get set. But I saw that in some video, and I thought, wow, that didn't get called.
And we know Coach Brickman, and
yes.
Coach has a way of talking to the refs about things
he
like
is
that.
You are the chess player on the field.
Yep, very good.
Well, that's my job.
You do a great job. Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
And wish you all the luck this week. And, guys, you heard it from Coach. We need the fan base. We need you to come out, come cheer for the team. Come let them know that you're there, that you're cheering for them, encourage them.
It is a great stadium. Looks like the bleachers are very well built, very new, and it's going to be comfortable. Weather's going to be great. We need noisemakers and we need fans.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, please.
I was thinking earlier I didn't want to have any offense to Elk City. I made 2 comments. One of them was, their players did some things. That's definitely nothing against their head coach, right?
Right.
So in the past, I've had some players that do things that doesn't mean that, he's condoning it. The other thing, I made a little joke like they were running an offense from the 1950s. Wow. And I was trying to have fun. I didn't mean any offense to that. Right. So. Well, they are a really good football team. They made it really far last year, and they were a good team this year.
You've shared with us that the rural schools like that are probably going to adopt some of the
toughness.
Well, it's the toughness and some of the tried and true formations that they can just teach any player. So we get that, but that's a nice clarification, Coach.
Yeah. And this is all about fun. I mean, I love the game of football overall as a whole, and so I feel the same way you do. And I don't know that I'm not in Elk City, but I don't know that I'd take it offensively. They're probably saying stuff about us and then apologizing. But, no, this is about fun, and I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate it. So thank you.
Coach, thank you so much, man.
Hey, guys, Coach Jeff Brickman here. Thank you very much for this. Right after this break, we're going to have offensive coordinator TJ Ketch. JT Ketch. And
we have both available to us.
His real name is Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie.
Right.
So.
Okay, well, I'm glad he told us that. And so we'll be right back after this break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Hey, welcome back to the Coaches Show. Glad that you all are here. All right, how are y'all doing out there? Y'all making it? Doing okay? Getting some good food? Well, good deal. Hey, if you're watching this, we'd love to have you come out. Join us here. We're at Luigi's in Newcastle, 117 Northwest 32nd. Over here, you see we're here with the offensive coordinator, J.T. Ketch. I apologize about that earlier.
Oh, no, you're good.
Too many initials for this old man. And so we're here with him and wanted to talk with him. And, Gene, go ahead.
Well, Coach, it just felt like we had a great game plan. You all did last week. And Coach Brickman talked about the adjustments that you made. But what about the game sticks out in your mind about how the play went for the Racers?
You can have a good game plan and it not work. Right. I mean, it all comes down to the way they execute, the kids on the field.
Right.
And I would say that our execution is what sold it.
Yeah.
We get to look at each week, and I for one spend some time looking and seeing how many other guys are two-way, because we're pretty blessed to have a situation where there's not an O lineman that's a starter on the D line, which is normally your positions that get wore out quicker because they're a little big guy, and so I knew that they had some two-way guys, and we talked about picking up the pace, and that's what we were able to do, and you started to see it kind of wear them down as it went. Late in that second quarter, you could start to see some hands on hips, and it was, hey, it's time, and that definitely played a part. I think just the execution and the physicality that we were able to bring was a difference maker.
And we were thinking the running game seemed to just get better and better, and that's probably the reason why, right?
Yeah.
Because
and that's the nature of a heavy running game. When you run the ball that much, it wears some people down.
Well, and that's what I thought was just one of the greatest things. They have some really good running backs there, and they have some really powerful running backs, but you can't run when you can't breathe.
Yeah.
And you can't run when your legs are heavy and your cleats are heavy. And so I thought that was a great game plan to just make them stay out on the field longer.
Well, and that goes back to what we talked about so many times, Billy, this year, conditioning and depth.
Yes.
And that's exactly what Coach Ketch seemed to say just now. We have the depth where we can run both, not have guys running both directions. That was great.
Yeah. So what are some things you're expecting as we go to Poto?
I don't really know yet because it's going to be a different kind of week for us as far as the high school goes. We talked a little bit about that we get to travel out on Thursday, and so I get to hang out overnight in a hotel with all these kids. Great. But outside of that, I'm excited to get this game going. We've felt like all year long that we would be in this position, and we still feel like there's more games for us to play. So I'm ready to get it rolling. Poto is a team that he talked a little bit about their offense. Their defense does a lot of different things, different formations, different sets, just to, I guess, generate confusion. They play very physical, very fast, downhill type guys.
Yeah.
So it'll be important for the O-line, again, to just play with their eyes up. That's what we say a lot, to play through the first level to the second. Some of their better players are their linebacking core. So if we're able to lock up the second level, then I think it'll be a good game for us.
And, Coach, I didn't see a lot of video on them, but some that I saw looked like they lined up kind of like a 4-2. It looked like they had four linemen.
Their base is a 3-4.
Right.
But if you look across their defense, the box, all the guys are roughly the same size outside the nose guard. He's more of a bigger body, more traditional.
Right.
But a lot of them are more linebacker-type bodies, fast, strong kids. And so they interchange them and play them in a few different ways.
Right.
So it's you never really know with who's on the field what you're going to actually see.
Right.
Before the ball snap.
And do they bring, the 3-4, do they bring a couple of those fours down at times, like on one side? Like I've read about Dax, I think it's Dax Collins, I believe is a guy, where he plays sometimes as the cheetah, or he'll fade back and play defensive back even. So you think that the offensive line just having their heads up, keeping an eye on where it's at, talking to each other?
Yeah, I mean, with me being the online coach, I harp on communication.
Right.
Call out the front, call out the backing alignments, call out your combos or who you're working through or all that, because you can't communicate enough. And you have to be good at it because, again, we're up tempo. We're moving fast. We want the ball snapped, so you're getting the play, and then it's coming now. So working through all that stuff's important. I
was looking at my notes while you were talking because I'd made a note about some of the numbers. They have big old number 73 lined up in nose guard, and he looked very huge. So then they pulled him out. They rotated him with a smaller guy, number 23.
Yeah.
Looked like he was keen. He and number 50 were keen on blitzing. Well, number 50 was blitzing quite a bit.
Yeah, they're aggressive.
Yeah, they are aggressive.
Well, and I would even say, we talked earlier about Elcision and Barry, and they've done a great job here. And I like what you said. We're not going into this game completely changing who we are and our offense. We feel that we can bring the things to have success and make the adjustments we need to.
Our game plan has always been, what do we do best? How can we do it? What kind of formations, what kind of adjustments, motion, shifts, whatever we have to do to run what we do best at.
Well, and it seemed like Elcision and Barry kind of go in and out, but this would be a game, like you're saying, not knowing who's coming up and coming back, where I can see them playing a big role in this game as well. Just seeing that outside guy, the cheetah back or whatever they come back with. And so really been impressed with them. Have you enjoyed watching them? They don't get much talk.
Oh, yeah. We rotate in about 4 tight ends. You get Elcision, Barry, Tone, and then Antonio Brown, and then Burt, when he's not playing quarterback, he's out there at tight end as well. That speaks to our depth, because you could play all those guys at the same time if you wanted to, and there's times when we play a majority of them.
Jackson Burt has especially shown his versatility this year.
Oh, yeah.
And
he just loves the game.
He loves the game.
What's the coolest thing about it.
And Billy was talking about how many times we've seen him do a lead blocking out there. And, man, when we see that number 13 coming first, and then there's a big guy behind him running the ball, or a fast guy.
And speaking to that, one of the things I'll always remember this season is watching Burt running ahead of Shanuel down the sideline as he's ready to block for him. I thought that was an incredible thing. So as you look at the mindsets, now Gene went out to practice today, and one of the things he said, as you can tell by looking at the players, their mindset is we're in this. We're going to win this.
Yeah.
Is that something you coaches have been able to do to them, or is that something they've picked up from you, or just on their own?
I would say that it's a little bit of both, but obviously when it's student-led, when it's athlete-led, when they are the ones that are creating this mindset and controlling what we're doing and keeping each other in line, then it's way more impactful than me saying something, or Brickman or anyone else. So we do have quite a few guys that are those foundational leaders that are pulling everyone up and keeping everyone on track. So
well, that is awesome. Well, hey, player of the game, TJ Bradford. And I know we lost video. You can still hear us, and so we're working on that. So give us time. Just have one more question for you, Coach. Player of the game is TJ Bradford. What's some words you'd use to describe him this season?
He's been dynamic for us. How many times, I think you talked about on the broadcast, have we been in like a 4th and 2, and then all of a sudden it's 50 yards and he's in the end zone.
Right.
And it's, I wish I could sit here being the O-line coach saying like, the O-line opens up some massive holes. No, he's getting hit in the backfield half the time, and he's busted still for 8 or 9, or he'll get hit at the line of scrimmage and he's 49 yards downfield.
Right.
Next thing you look at, he's been an electric player for us. And, after early this year, we looked at it as that room as we have so much talent there, and it's going to be by committee, and there's always going to be fresh.
Right.
And then it slowly started to whittle down.
Well, they're fun to watch, Coach.
And TJ obviously just took control.
Yep. Right. Well, and doing a great job, and we'll have him up here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just want to say thank you. Appreciate you being with us. I've been on several times. Appreciate getting just to know you and stuff, and continue keep rolling.
I'm glad the camera doesn't have to look at me anymore.
Well, there's probably some happy people not seeing us. So just thanks very much. We're going to work on some of the things going on, and we'll be right back here with Coach Blue right here on Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. and finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
Introduce him as.
Hey, welcome back to the Coaches Show. Just want to say, got some things taken care of. A lot of products got done there. Over here to our right, we have Uriah Martinez. He is our producer and does everything on the computers and sees everything going. Had some difficulties. He got up there with the help of Coach
Blue,
who also does video and things for the team. They got it going, and you're back with us. I just apologize. These are still the two faces that we have up here. So glad you're back with us. Over here you can see we got Coach Quentin Blue. He's a wide receivers and tight ends coach, and just glad to have you back. Enjoy. Thanks for the help with that as well.
Yeah, I didn't do much. It was Uriah. I didn't do much.
Well, you're good, and thank you for that. Gene, go ahead.
Coach, Billy and I talked about it. We're very impressed with the wide receivers and tight ends, the jobs they've done. How do you feel about how it's going now, as well as throughout the year?
Man, I have a good group of kids. I mean, the biggest thing is I try to tell them that there's always room to get better. I mean, none of them are NFL football players, and even NFL football players mess up. So I just try to tell them all the time, like every week, even this week, we're going to play Poto. We're trying to get better at practice, and they're a really good group of kids, so it's really easy to coach them.
And Coach, if I'm going to segue here a little bit or shift gears slightly. To talk about, I just spent a few moments at practice today, and I texted Billy, and I said, guess what they're doing? And he said, what? I said, well, they're practicing. And I said, but when they're practicing, I'm talking about they're doing blocking drills, tackling drills, they're pushing sleds around, they're, what else I say, they're getting yelled at by their coaches a little bit, they're getting some coach. These guys are still in that getting better, and I said these young men are not finished yet.
Oh no!
So what I saw in the few minutes I was there echoes exactly what you said.
Yep.
Now, is that something the coaches talked about the first of the year, guys? This is some things we're going to do this year. Or is that something you've done every year?
Oh yeah, Tuesdays are big days. Tuesday, it's we're gonna hit, we're gonna do all the drills that are gonna make us better. I don't know if you really noticed, but we have a gauntlet machine in the back of our end zone, and wide receivers and tight ends go through the gauntlet on every single Tuesday. And it's just
I did not see that, but Coach, some of you all have told us about that.
Yeah, just holding the ball high and tight, trying to run through contact and being able to break tackles and not fumble the football and run really low sense of gravity and be really strong when you run with the football.
Our attention, we really catch the attention of the wide receivers when those guys run downfield and make those remarkable catches. And it's also great to see a tight end catch the ball, too, and plow through there. But I think they probably don't get all the credit they deserve because of things they do when the ball's not coming to them.
Absolutely.
So tell us about the role of the tight end and even the run game and everything.
Well, the tight ends, man, that's a crazy group of kids I got at tight end. But it's funny because – of course, they always want to catch the ball.
Of course.
But the main role for our tight end is really just blocking. Not just blocking, but that's a big role of our offense.
Right.
Okay, we're 3 receivers and 1 tight end in the game, and they have to be able to block. I mean, they have to be able to run. They have to be able to catch. They have to be able to do everything. So they really do have a big role. I mean, every play, they could be the most outside receiver. They could be in the box blocking in the B gap. They can be doing anything on any given play. So probably besides quarterback, they have one of the biggest roles on the offense because there's so many different things they do every play.
And one of the gentlemen we see at tight end now is one of the quarterbacks.
Yes, sir.
Jackson Burr.
Yep.
So did you have to teach him how to block?
I mean, no, the thing about Burr is he's just so competitive,
Exactly.
and he's so intelligent, so he understands the game, and he plays 100 miles per hour. So it's like when Shanu goes to quarterback, we want our best people on the field.
Exactly.
So it's hard not to put Jackson Bird at tight end
Right.
sometimes because of how hard he plays.
And I ask that in jest because we've seen him block.
Yeah.
He's
hit.
vicious, whatever his role is, right?
Yep.
And one of the things I've really been impressed with, and this is from tight ends, wide receivers, when you're watching it on film, my job, the play-by-play, he can watch the play and say down at the 32 or
Right,
whatever, the 51, remember that?
Right.
And but he can say all that stuff. I'm watching blocking and things like that, and I can't tell you how many times after the player has gone down, you still see receivers and the tight ends blocking their guys out of there. There was one time I saw, I don't remember who the running back was, but he got tackled on like the 16, and Hesku's still blocking a guy at the goal line.
Yep.
And just some crazy things like that. That's something I don't even see much in the college ranks.
Right.
100%.
And so that is something
when you
I'm
see
really
it,
impressed.
you make note of it. Yeah.
Yes, that was something that's real impressive with the coaches that have done with them.
Yeah, we definitely tell them, like, if you're not going to block, we're not passing you the ball either. That's one of the main things we tell them because, I mean, we run a spread offense, which is kind of not the norm in 4A football, but we still love to run the ball.
Right.
And people notice that. So our wide receivers have to be able to block just like our tight ends have to be able to block.
Wow.
So it's definitely a thing we emphasize for sure.
And they've done a real good job. Now, here's another thing that I've noticed. A lot of your receiving core are younger players.
Oh, yes.
How exciting does that make it for this year as well as years coming in?
Well, I mean, I have one senior receiver, Aiden Schumard, and he's caught a lot of touchdowns for the Newcastle Racers from middle school to high school. But, I mean, I have Rex Hesku, that's a junior, and I have the Lane twins, Jordan and Jalen. Alex Schumard, Aiden's little brother, he's really young, and he's going to be a really good player for us. Ian Barker, I have a lot of talent. And the sucky thing about that is it's hard to get every single one of them the ball.
Right.
But, man, I have a great group. And like you said, they're young, so they're going to be around for a long time. So we're going to be making plays for a long time.
Well, how about Poto? When you look at Poto, what's the key message to your tight ends and receivers for that defense?
Always the first message is be physical. You have to be more physical than the other team. One of the big things we see when we watch film on Poto is they have really good linebackers, and that's usually the person that our tight end is blocking. So our tight ends got to be ready to go. They got to be physical, and as much as they want to catch the ball, I mean, they got to go put people in the dirt, and that opens up the pass game. So the biggest thing is be physical. The other thing I always say is, what do you do when the ball's not in your hand?
Right.
What do you do when the ball's not in your hand? Because everybody wants the ball in their hand.
Right.
So just being physical, blocking, and then just in the pass game, I mean, we're always going to pass the ball. We love to pass the ball, and like you said, we have receivers that we can pass the ball to. But if teams are going to let us run the ball, we're going to run the ball. And we got number 5 in the backfield, and he's really freaking good. So that's a good thing.
Very good.
How about their defensive backs? I didn't see much of their video, but
So they actually, I don't know if you guys know, but they have a 3-star player. He's number 11. He's committed to the Tulsa Hurricanes, I believe.
Yep.
He's their free safety, so he plays in the middle of the field, and he kind of is the key to their defensive backs. He's really good. He's physical. He'll run downhill, and he'll hit you. He's a pretty fast kid. But they kind of do they're similar to Elk City, where they play a lot of cover 4. They play deep. They don't want to get beat deep, so they're backpedaling on the snap. So we definitely can take advantage of that because we do some things that will exploit that. So that's the best thing about it. But, I mean, we got to be ready to run the ball. We got to be ready to pass the ball, and we're going to do both for sure.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. In that cover 4, that opens up Schumard, opens up Hesku.
Oh, yeah.
And even I noticed recently you've been Jordan and Jalen both have been faking long and then cutting in. And so that's going to open up that underside especially, and then when they start cheating up on the underside, you just let the horses run,
got the
man,
speed,
and they go.
Yep.
So that is
100%.
great stuff.
So practicing and playing games in late November, that's what we like, right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's first second-round playoff game I've ever been a part of, and it's so exciting. Now, I'm a basketball coach, And I'm not ready to go to basketball.
No.
I want to be in football for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, do you have to go to Coach Brown and go soon?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a
every
month.
day he's like, "You coming?" I'm like, "Nope. Don't think about me. I won't be there for a while."
This is the first time since 2014 that we even made it to the second round.
Yep.
We beat Glenpool in round one in round one, and then we went to Fort Gibson. So I think we're going to go even further yet, Billy.
Oh, yep.
Well, thank you, Coach. We have a lot of fun talking. We could just stay up here and keep talking. But
100%.
I know you got somebody over here that's finished his pizza and he's ready to go. But thank you so much for everything and the way you're coaching your boys, your athletes.
Yep.
Appreciate them, and just thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, guys, and we will see you next Tuesday.
All right, you will.
You. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah,
thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be right back after these messages from Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Hey, welcome back to the Coaches Show. We're here at Luigi's. Still some tables available. People still having fun and eating. Now you see over here we have TJ Bradford, running back for your Newcastle Racers. He's
Player of the game.
Also the player of the game for the second time this season. And don't let him get too humble on you, all right? But, no, he is doing good. Gene has some stats on you. If you want to go ahead and tell him those.
Well, I'll be in trouble if I understate any of these. So if I overstate them, we're okay. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the best running backs in the state of Oklahoma, all classes.
Yes.
And, yeah, congratulations to that. This young man has over 1,300 yards for the year, at least 18 touchdowns. If I got them right, 18 or 19. The Max Preps has 18 touchdowns, Billy. 5 receptions for 39 yards and a touchdown. 19 total touchdowns. 18 touchdowns are rushing touchdowns.
There you go.
Plus the 19. I knew it had 19 in there somewhere. He scored 3 times in the Elk City game, 2 rushing touchdowns, one for 30 yards, one for 51 yards, and then a 5-yard receiving touchdown, which was a beautiful play to score for the Racers.
And that's offense.
And the kid knows how to play defense.
That's right.
Someone taught him how to tackle and everything.
That's right. He's Captain Slobberknocker over there, man.
He's had over 40. He's had 40 tackles. Wow. A lot of them solo tackles for a loss. And I just say, wow, congratulations, and you deserve player of the game. We give you player of the game almost every week anyway, whether the coaches do or not. How does it feel to be recognized by your coaches?
And it feels good, you know. I just like playing the game. If I didn't have my lineman like Hunter Berry on the Tuttle game, Tuttle game.
Yeah.
On the third drive, or the first drive actually, on the third play.
Yeah.
We scored that touchdown. It was because I followed him behind that block.
No
there
kidding.
You go. You just
So
look
it
up for
feels
number
good.
33 and run, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good.
Very good.
Well, good deal. Hey, this last
He's
week.
giving some credit to those linemen,
I
isn't
know. Are you sure you're a running back?
Yes,
no, that's good stuff. Hey, looking back at Elk City, did you see some things in their defense you thought, oh, I can do some stuff with that?
I actually did. I knew that they haven't played a team that experienced a running back out of the backfield running routes. So whenever we called for a Ranger or one of our plays, I knew that would probably work against them. I seen the linebacker cut down really hard on me. So I seen the safety kind of back up almost. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be open. So that's one of the plays that I knew that would probably work against this kind of team.
Yeah, good. Well, and with your running, I noticed last year they ran you around the ends quite a bit as a freshman. This year it seems like you're getting a lot of attention right up between the tackles. Is there something that you're doing this year maybe a little different where you're seeing that and ways to go?
Definitely being more patient with the ball and setting my blocks up, setting my blocks up so I can get through the hole faster and more efficiently. Something that more experience kind of comes with whenever playing running back because, always getting to the hole the fastest isn't always the best option for you to do all the time.
Right. And yet we observe that you get to the hole fast, but you also take just enough time to pause when needed as the hole opens up. And that looks very impressive, Billy.
It's really neat. And from up at the top of the bleachers, what I think is really neat, of course, you're wearing the black cover on your helmet. And what's really neat is you'll run up into that, and then it's almost like time stops. And then you pop out the other side. Have you ever? I don't know if it feels the same on the field, but that's what it looks like as a fan. Is you run into there, and it's like, where'd he go? There he goes.
And that's when all the cheering begins.
That's
Yay,
right.
Look at him run.
Yeah, nobody catches you.
Nobody. And by the way, the coach for the other team had to have been disappointed. After about the third run, TJ broke loose, and the guys just. They say, we ain't catching him.
That's right.
I'm through. I'm done.
Yeah, they stopped at the 10. They did.
That was a sight to behold.
Now, last year as a freshman, you played very well. Played real good. You were kind of a sneak. Nobody saw you coming at the first of the year, and then people kind of figured it out. But this year, it really seems like you've stepped it up to a different level.
Right.
Is there something that you worked on in the off season, or is there something where you said, here's where I'm going and here's that next level?
Right. I did a lot of off-season training. I still go to training after football practice. After the season ends, I'm still working out. If I hadn't done that, I probably would still be in the same position as I was in as a freshman. I'm glad that I started doing that now because now I see where it has taken me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thankful for my trainer, teaching me some of the things that I didn't know, like some of the footwork that I needed to know, and not getting caught behind linemen all the time. Yeah, so whenever I follow blocks, I'm not always, in a pile. Yeah, always can find a way out. So that's something I did work on while I wasn't playing football. And even if I'm playing football, I'm still working.
That's paying dividends, as they say.
Yeah.
Billy, and I'll say this to TJ, but we observe this. It's almost like you're a junior now, because the season you've played a freshman year and a full sophomore year, and now you're kind of like a junior in terms of experience. And our young freshmen are sophomores already. They played a full season, and they're still playing. So these next 3 games, we're going to expect even more from you. We're going to expect a lot from you as a junior. No, we're very proud of you, and just keep doing what you're doing. Our expectations are no more than what you've already given us. We're excited about it.
You're doing great. Having a great season. A season you're going to remember the rest of your life.
Thank you.
And done a great job.
Until next year, then he'll forget about this year.
And then next year will be even better. But, no, you've done a great job. Did a great job at defensive back and on defense. Even, I don't know if you knew this, one week OSN had you one of the highlights of the week whenever you, I don't remember the team, but you hit the quarterback in the backfield, and I think it took your helmet off.
And the Blanchard game that hit,
That Blanchard, okay.
Blanchard hit.
You enjoyed that one. You could see it.
You remember that, and the Blanchard quarterback remembers that.
Very exciting.
That's right.
Very exciting.
Very good.
Well, and he better remember that because there's a good chance here in a couple of weeks he's going to see that again.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So
we'll see them in the semifinals. I'm excited.
That's right.
Excited to play.
Well, hey, congratulations to
and
you.
not only for your great
game.
play, for being just such a fine gentleman, young gentleman. We really are proud. I've watched this game for many years as a Racer fan, and I love the wins. I love the hard-fought games, but I like it when we play with class. And TJ, young men like you who play the game with class. It just makes it much more fun. We appreciate you.
And you've done that very well, so thanks a lot. Hey, TJ Bradford, player of the game for Elk City, thanks for being on here.
He's worth the trip to Poto.
Yes.
So go to Poto.
You need to see him.
And watch TJ. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
The crowd favorite, Billy.
Okay. Now, how come when you ask for applause, they do it? I ask for applause, they take another bite.
Because I got TJ.
There you go. Hey, we're going to be right back here with Coach Judd Wilson, so stick around right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Welcome back here to the Coaches Show. Doing real good right here. Having a lot of fun tonight. Had a lot of great people here. Now we have one of the greatest ones here with us tonight. This is Coach Wilson. He's the assistant head coach, the D-line coach. And thanks a lot. You're one of the main reasons we are here. And so I don't know if you know, he is married to Dee, who is one of the owners here at Luigi's. And they've invited us. They're the ones that asked us to come do the Coaches Show. So if you don't like us, blame him.
That's right.
And no, we have had a lot of fun getting to know you. We give each other a hard time and do that. Let me ask you a question. How would you sum up this season so far?
It's been a lot of fun. You know, it's tough to sum up because we still got work to do.
That's right.
And we're not done yet. It's been a blast. The kids have been great. I've coached these guys for a long time, and it's just been fun to see the growth and the success. I knew it was coming. I mean, I coached these guys all through middle school, and I think between the senior class down to the freshman class, they were 53-2 or something like that through middle school. So I seen it coming. I mean, they're just a bunch of good athletes and a bunch of good kids.
And Racer fans, if you haven't heard this already, we've acknowledged the work that Coach Wilson has done with the middle school over the past several years has just built up into the strong program that we have today in varsity.
Absolutely.
So you get a lot of credit. And yes, you get a lot of credit for helping us get the coaches show. I've watched some of the other coaches show. I'm selfish, but I think we've got one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
And big part of that is our venue.
Yes.
We have a great venue here, and it draws a lot of people in to dine together and watch the coaches show.
And we appreciate it. Now, I was going to ask you. You kind of took a question away from me. You've watched these guys all through middle school. Do you kind of feel like the proud father when you watch them
go? I mean, it's it's one thing I coached my son from the time he could start walking, but then you get close to these guys, and it's like they just become part of your family too, you know. And I want to say, like talking about the coaches show, one thing I don't do very well is I don't thank a lot of people, and I want to thank all the coaches that come out every single week and talk and kind of give feedback and stuff about the previous game or the upcoming game. So I really want to say thanks to all those guys.
We thank them too, Coach.
Yes. I think you guys do a great job. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, our job is easy, and at first, if there was any apprehension, now it's like they're bragging about who gets on here the most and who gets to talk the most. So that's really been fun for us. And a shout out to our athletic director. Coach Brent Hodges is here with us tonight, and we're always glad to have administration and coaches. Coach Gerald is here from
cross country.
There
he is.
Gerald Lewis. Oh, yeah, very good.
And I don't know if you guys know this, watching on camera or even sitting in here. Coach Wilson is the guy that gets the coaches together, the player of the game together, our overtime interviews together. So he is like producer also of the show as well. And so he's
my next job in life, I guess.
That's right. He's still waiting on his check.
That's right.
And so, but no, he sets up everybody coming up here and doing this. So we really do appreciate that very much. Now, let's talk about the defensive line. I have seen some great work out of them, and it almost seems like as the game goes on, they get stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you give to that makes it that way?
Well, I think Coach Ketch and Coach Brickman, they hit on a lot. The all-season program and guys willing to put in the work to do that a little extra at this time of the season, especially. You get to a game like Elk City going in, we knew that it was going to be a physical game and they were going to keep running the ball right at you.
And they were huge.
Yeah, absolutely. They were going to be big guys, but the benefit to being in our district is that we played Tuttle and Bethany the 2 weeks prior, and both of those teams were physical and fast and all those things. So that kind of prepared us for what we've seen against Elk City. It's cool in that moment during a game. You see their offensive line get tired.
Yeah.
And they were like, man,
these
guys aren't going to stop. They're going to keep coming the whole night. So that was fun.
Well, and I really have to say, we've said it all night. This has kind of been the Alcisian Berry Love Show. They have done a real good job bookending the defensive line as well, and we've talked about that, how they've kept everything compacted in. They've done a good job. And I know that the line has a kind of sense of camaraderie. Every line does.
Sure.
And does that start from them? I know are they both seniors?
No, they're both juniors.
Both junior. Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yep.
And so does it kind of book in and kind of start from them saying, okay, guys, here it comes. I know you got Big Taj up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got Taj and Heavy J in the middle, and then you got these guys who are they're freak athletes. I mean, they're both big, crazy strong, but they're also really fast. So it makes it easier on the linebackers and the back end because getting outside against those guys is kind of difficult.
Right.
So you got a game plan for that. And Hunter and Aiden, as far as kids they seem a lot different because Hunter never stops talking, and then Aiden don't talk hardly ever.
Yeah.
But they're both tremendous kids. I mean, outside of football, they're just great kids.
Yeah, they're the yin and the yang to the D-line.
Yeah,
there you
right.
go.
And Hunter Berry has fun playing the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can tell it.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And a little inside from the sideline the other night, Elk City got to the point where they were calling our guys' names. One of them called one of our defensive linemen fat.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we knew we had them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
when you get to that point, you know that they're done.
They're done. That's
They're done.
right.
He said, man, you're fat.
Yeah.
I said, well, I just pancaked you.
Yeah, that's right.
He said, well, that's why I fell.
Well, good. Well, having the finger on your pulse for the game coming, we've talked about how young the team is. Are you excited about the future? Are you excited about the guys coming up that we haven't even met yet?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of talent over the next few years. I mean, I've already been walking around recruiting all the 6th graders for next year. There's a few kids that they haven't played football before, but they're going to next year. So we're excited about what we got coming up. There's just a ton of talent. I mean, it's my job's easy. Just put them in the right spot and tell them to go play hard. So it's been a lot of fun.
And these kind of players and this team will attract more and more of those kids.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's probably the coolest thing is, like, I got 8th graders this year. They were like, they hadn't played before. And they're like, yeah, I want to be a part of that team here in the next couple of years. So that's always a good recruiting tool when you're walking around the hallways.
Well, doing a great job. You can tell, freshmen, sophomores on the team that are playing, you know that you have had your hand in developing them and working with them and coaching them, and just really appreciate you. I know Coach Brickman appreciates you. We all do. And as somebody that has never done a coach's show before, didn't know what I was doing, thank you for your patience with us.
Oh, no, you guys have been outstanding. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoy just talking with you guys every week, so it's been a lot of fun. I sure appreciate you. You guys do a great job.
Thank you very much.
So
we love that.
Awesome.
Our job is easy, thanks to you guys.
And speaking of Dee, has she enjoyed us being here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. She
good.
She gripes sometimes because I go home and go straight to bed. I don't do any of my chores and all that. Kind of tired after.
But you did the coach's show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hey.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Our family really appreciates everything you guys have done, and like I say, the coaches and the players. The coaches could be at home with their wives, and the players could be with their girlfriends or whatever, but they're up here spending time, and
Judd,
it really helps our family.
On a personal note, I passed the mic this year to another person for the announcing of our home games. This has just been a blessing to get to continue to be part of the team. Well, I feel like a racer insider. I'm not very smart, but I just know a lot of things that.
Gene, we all love you, man.
Yes.
You're a great dude. So
thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Judd. Good to have you here. And look for Judd over on the sidelines at the game. Probably the same thing Brickman said. We need people there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need people there. And so be there for that. Thank you. Appreciate you. We'll be right back here. We're going to finish up. We're going to talk a little bit about Poto because that's all we could find was a little bit about Poto. And so we'll be right back after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Hey, we're back here at the Coaches Show. Going to wrap this up tonight. Gene and I are here. We've talked about Elk City. We've talked to coaches and players about Poto. Now we want to wrap it up, kind of talk about some of the things that we're expecting to see and understand that as a fan, some of the little bit of homework that we have done and we could find.
Yeah.
And so just talk about that and just want to kind of wrap up the show with that. Go ahead.
And Billy, we're fans, and we're talking about things that we think our fans will observe anyway. We don't have the X's and O's necessarily. But looking ahead at Poto, their offense is similar to Elk City, but much more skilled, especially in ball handling. They play like a well-oiled machine. They huddle, as Coach called it, a sugar huddle. And they'll huddle, and with players coming in from the sideline with the play, they get the play, chat about it for about 10 seconds, and then they rush to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball just almost immediately. They have some athletes, some to watch for. Their quarterback, he's pretty much a magician, sleight of hand on the ball handling. He handles the ball. It's hard to follow. He does a good job. They do a lot of misdirection. They do misdirection all the time. In fact, you know who their homecoming queen was?
Who?
Misdirection.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, they love misdirection.
I should have seen that coming. Oh, that was good.
But you'll see it in almost every play. They have all this movement. Thank you, crowd. I'm here on Tuesday nights. They have a safety and receiver, Dax Collins. He's a D1 prospect, and he wears number 11. They've got several players that are going to be really strong. Poto has they've had a lot of success with teams from the West. So we're getting ready to make a statement down there and show them that they won't be able to stand up. Keys to the game. I'll just jump into the keys of the game that come to my mind. I'd like to hear yours. For Newcastle, I'm going to use the same word I used last week with Elk City, tough. They need to be tough and stay tough just like they were at Elk City because Poto will play hard. Don't blink. Quarterback is a magician with the ball, very fluid, very well-oiled. I don't think we will stop them. It's not like a team can stop their play, but we need to limit their offense, and we need to slow them down. And we need to answer their scoring drive with scoring drives of our own, and I think we'll get to the point where we will slow them down and prevent them from scoring. Be able to accept adversity. We haven't gotten behind very many times this year. When we do get behind, we usually play our best anyway.
Right.
But we may see it. We're at the time in the season where we will face adversity, so we need to be able to work through it, get ahead of it, stay ahead of them, and just don't lose composure and minimize penalties. And I think the keys for Poto will be able to contain Bradford. That's going to be a key for them to contain him. I don't think they can. Another thing is to be able to get to our quarterback. Jackson Burt is very versatile. But he needs to have time, he and Shaniel, who's ever in that, and because he will connect at a given time. And I think they need to be able to play Where's Waldo. And Waldo in this case is Jackson Burt. Jackson Burt is going to show up at quarterback. He's going to show up at tight end. He's going to be a defensive back. He's going to be a linebacker. He's going to be everywhere. He's going to be punting. And I think they're going to see and get a feel of Jackson Burt. And I think they're going to have to add versatility to its offense because Newcastle is going to be keying in on their well-documented strengths. They better pull something out of the hat if they're going to overcome Newcastle. What are your thoughts, Billy?
Well, and I agree with a lot of what you said. I think that they're a good team. You cannot have success like they have had on a consistent basis without having talent, without having coaching. They were expected to win it all last year, lost it in the finals to Wagner. They're expected to win it all this year, and I know Wagner's right up there with them. They are going to run power. They're going to run, and we're going to have to take getting hit, get back up, and hit back. And so that's going to be something big. Some keys of the game that I would say on defense, defensive ends are going to have to keep it all contained, and that's going to be whoever's coming at you. Don't let them outside of you, whether they have the ball, whether they don't have the ball. Linebackers and the defensive backs coming up, don't be too quick to get into the gaps. Stay back, keep your head on a swivel, because about the time you go to get into a gap, you're going to find the guy going on the other side. You need to be able to work horizontally. You've shown great speed all season. They have on defense, and that's going to be key tonight. Then your back five, they do some passing. In fact, I'd say the quarterback, you say he's a magician, has a great touch pass. And when you see him pass, it's almost that, when you watched Florida with Tim Tebow, and he would have kind of that flutter touch of a pass. He does that a lot. Goes
Drops
about
it right in.
about 20 yards down. And so he can still do that, stay with him. And here's the one thing I would say to the players for Newcastle, trust each other. You're going to have to trust that others are covering, because if you over-pursue, that's going to leave something open somewhere else. On offense, you're going to have to establish a run game. Establish the run game so that they don't know what's coming. 2, look what they're giving you, take what they're giving you, and adjust to what you need to do. Right. Heard from Brickman tonight. They play a very diverse game. They have games that they can go in any direction. And I think if you can keep Poto's defense wondering what you're going to run next, then I think you're going to have a good chance to beat them. But this is going to be a great, great game.
Okay. One more shout out to our athletic director, Brent Hodges is here. We appreciate him being here. And I think I can speak what he would say is come out to the game, make that trip out there, make some noise, be part of the fun of this, enjoy this. A win Friday night means semifinal games the following week.
Against Blanchard. And don't think that doesn't mean something.
Or Sallisaw.
Or Sallisaw. Could be. Sallisaw shocked some people last week.
They did.
So,
they did.
So very well could be. And Gene's right. You don't understand what it means to the player to look up and see your fans yelling and cheering for you. So make your way out there. I know some of you are not able to make that trip. Again, you can watch it on OSN on the app. You can watch it on Roku. You can do Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV. I believe it's going to be on Facebook. It's always on YouTube. There's ways you can watch it, but it will mean more to the team even that you're there. And so I would encourage you to come out to the game, find some people to ride with, make it a community thing. That's one of the things we love about Newcastle is the community here. So, Gene, do you have anything else to say?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go because I can't wait till Friday night.
Oh, man, it's going to be a blast. Thanks for tuning in with us. Had a great show. I want to thank all of our guests for being here. Everybody that was here in the crowd. I want to thank Uriah Martinez over here on the computer.
Always look over at Uriah because we appreciate his big job.
Yeah, he does a great job. He sets us up. Basically, we're just the animatronics that sit behind the table. He does everything else. So thank you, Gene. Just doing a great job. Gene has the incredible ability to get people to talk. And you see that every week, and just want to thank you for that and being a friend. And so we want to say goodnight. See you Friday at the game. See you on OSN if you can't make it.
And we'll be back Tuesday night.
We will be back Tuesday night here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.